Yo, what's up, everybody? How you doing? This is your Coach Renz, and we are going to take just a few minutes. I'm not going to take long, but just a few minutes, and talk about why Joe Biden's tax plan is going to hurt low income and middle income Americans. This is in no way am I supporting President Trump. I'm not supporting Trump. This is not a support of Trump video. This is not a support of Joe Biden's video. You vote for whoever you want to vote for, whatever your conscience, whatever your political leanings are. I could actually care less. But I'm a business person. I'm a business person. I do business, and we over here on Facebook, we over here on YouTube, so I'm gonna be switching back and forth. But I'm a business person, and when you come in, let me know who you are. But so when I look at these things, what I'm looking at is the fact of what is going to what's the problem here. So if I were to say vote for Joe Biden, then would this change my vote? Possibly, but I would be very much saying that, look, dude, you get voted in, but you can't do this tax plan. That's not going to happen. That this tax plan is not good. Um, so if I were inclined to vote for Joe Biden, I would be hell bent on telling him you're not going to do this tax plan. This is horrible. I'll be telling my congressman, my senator, what's up? How you doing now? If I didn't see the name on YouTube, Devontae, how you doing? But we're not going to take long on this video to break down why Joe Biden's tax plan is not good for middle and low income Americans. And most of this is because most Americans don't really understand how taxes work. Okay? So because most people don't understand how taxes work, that people don't understand how business works, we get caught up into the headline or the big pieces of it. So honestly, the purpose of this video is that if you are voting for Joe Biden and he wins, I would hope that his supporters will make sure that this tax plan does not come out, does not go into play. Because even though on the surface you think, oh, he's taxing the rich, let me tell you something about business people. They don't pay the taxes. That's one reason why rich people are rich people, because they don't pay taxes. All right? They don't pay the taxes that y'all think they're paying. And as a business person, I don't pay the tax that you think I'm paying. So, do you think I'm going to stand here and pay extra taxes just because he said it? See, hey, how y'all doing over there? YouTube? How y'all doing? How you doing? There was a person on my Facebook page. They wrote out a pretty good breakdown of it, and I had it, and now I can't find it. I don't understand where it went. This is foolishness. This is foolishness. But so I don't want to keep you guys that long. I want to go ahead and break down why if you're voting for Biden, why you need to say, "Hey, Biden, I'm voting for you. That's cool. I got you." But your tax plan is not going to work, bro, because it's going to filter down. There's nothing in place that will stop it from filtering down to the low income and middle income, and it's going to hurt the mom and pop businesses. So if you're running a small business where you don't make over $400,000 per year in your business, or up to 400,000, or anything over that, you are going to be hurt. That business is going to be hurt, and then they're going to pass that down to the people, and it's going to hurt everybody. And small businesses are going to be hurt by this. So how you doing on Facebook? Who is that? I mean YouTube. How you doing, Patrick, Lydia, Rotier? How y'all doing? I'm working on 2 lives here, so let's get into this. I don't know if you guys have seen Joe Biden's tax plan of what he plans on doing. Uh, oh my gosh, how is it that I had it up here all nice and now I can't find it? From a person who had copied and pasted a really good statement about the Joe Biden's tax plan. Like, I'm scrolling their page and it was just up here and now it's completely. Oh, I found it. So let me tell you what somebody wrote. I don't know who actually wrote this. I don't even know if she wrote it. She may have copied and pasted it. But I'm going to use hers, and then there's more I want to add to it. All right. This person is definitely a big time Trump supporter. So some people could say, oh, that's why they wrote this. But it's when you look at it and you're in business, you'll understand that this is just a true fact of statement. All right. Just because somebody supports Trump or somebody supports Biden doesn't mean everything they say is wrong or everything is slanted. This is just how economics work, people. This is just how economics work. So um, here it is. So somebody wrote that Joe Biden says he wants to tax the rich, which is what most people understand from his tax plan. Those making over 400,000 a year and corporations. So I'm going to be adding as I go through this. He wants to add basically about 12% taxes on people who make, which would be in Social Security tax, on people who make over $400,000 a year and on corporations. You have to understand that this fourth, and if you're on my YouTube, I mean Facebook, let me know if you can hear me because I got a microphone plugged in, but I'm not sure. I'm going to make sure it's working. But so people think, oh, if you make over $400,000 a year, then you're rich. Well, you're not, first of all, but you're a high income earner. Um, you're in that 1%. You're in that 10%, actually. You're in that 10%. And being in that 10%, he's saying that you're going to pay an extra 12%. This is going to be mostly, you got your doctors and your lawyers and you got your small businesses who are making over 400,000. What people don't realize is that take a business like mine, like Uncle Ren's Popcorn. When I file taxes, because I'm a S corp, I file my taxes as my personal with in conjunction with my personal taxes, which is what many small businesses do. That means that this money is accounted. So when my company makes 500, let's say company makes $500,000, then that 100,000 over the 400 is taxed at 12%. It's taxed on my personal income because that's how many small businesses do it. If you know a small business that does $1 million a year, then it's usually going to be submitted to the IRS as their personal income and then with all the deductions. So what Joe Biden is saying is that you're going to have to pay an extra 12% on top of anything over 400,000. There's a sweet spot between 137,000 and the 400,000 where that portion is non-taxable, right? And so these smaller companies, which is your doctors that you're going to, some of the restaurants that you go to, that the owner is there, they're going to have to pay this extra 12%. So that's going to hurt them. These people are not putting $400,000 in their pocket. They're not putting $500,000 in their pocket. They're usually going to be putting about 20% of that in their pocket. So if it's 400,000, they're putting about 80,000 to 100,000 in their pocket. But they're now going to have to pay an extra 12%. Where do you think that extra 12% is going to come from? Do you think they're going to take it out of their own pocket? No. They're going to raise the prices of their products about 15% in order to compensate for it. Because not only are those businesses going to pay more, but they are being charged more in taxes. But take a business like mine, Uncle Ren's Popcorn. My suppliers are multi-million-dollar companies. All right, I get a few products from Walmart that I use in my store to make product. I get the majority from Gold Medal, which is a multi-million-dollar company, $100 million company, and then I get another portion from Restaurant Depot, which is another multi-$100 million company. Those companies are about to experience a 12. If Joe Biden's tax plan go through, they're going to experience a 12% increase. In order for them to do that, in order for them to compensate, who do you think they're going to charge? Me. Their increase is going to come down to me, and then their suppliers are going to charge them as well. So it's going to flow down to where I have to pay an extra 10, 12% on the products that I'm currently buying in order to make what I'm making. And where do you think I'm going to do? What do you think I'm going to do? I'm going to increase my product by about 15% to compensate for the increases of all of my suppliers and their suppliers. So when you hear that it's a tax on the rich, no, this is a tax on America, period. Every facet of it. It will come down to you in a sales tax. And what else will companies do in order to compensate for this 12%, 15%? What companies will do to compensate for this 12%, 15% increase? Hey, Uncle Edward, Uncle Edward, let me know if you can hear me. Um, what companies will do, they will freeze your wages. You will not get pay raises. They will cut your benefits. They will cut people. They will like get cut some salary, get rid of some people, lay off some people. That's the word I was looking for, was lay off. They're going to do this. So they're going to make this will travel downstream to everybody, right? To all the people. The rich people are still going to get away with it. I want you to think about this. Most Americans spend about 98% of their income, period. Most Americans spend 98% of their income. Most wealthy people that this will affect, that will affect them immediately, they're only spending about 60% of their income. So a 12% income, a 12% increase in their taxation, even if they didn't, well, they're going to pass it down. Let me not even say that. A 12% increases in their taxes, they're still not hurt because they're only spending about 60% of their income anyway. And as you guys know, I try to get you to understand my 70-10-10-10 plan, where you only spend you don't spend more than 70% of your income. Thank you, Uncle Edward. You don't spend more than 70% of your income, right? So these rich people are only spending 6%. The tax increase is not going to hurt them as much, but they know that that increase is going to be rolled downhill. Every other company is going to increase their price points based on the fact that now there's this increase, and they're not going to take the money out of themselves, and they're going to compensate. So you're looking at 15% increase. Now, if most Americans are spending 98% of their income, where are they going to get the extra 15% that's going to come to them in the form of sales tax? They're not. You're not. If you're at 98% expenditure, you don't have the money to pay for the extra. The prices at Walmart will go up. The prices at Kroger and Publix will go up. The prices of cars will go up. The prices of houses will go up. Everything, the prices of clothing will go up. They will go up 10-15% in order to compensate. And guess who's paying it? You are. You are. You're paying it. So if your plan is to vote for Joe Biden, go ahead and vote for him. I don't care. But what I do care about is all his supporters and myself and anybody else, whether you are a Trump supporter or anybody. If you're in America, you need to make sure his tax plan does not come to a reality. You need to make sure that your congressmen, your senators Congress holds the keys to the kingdom. They hold the purse, the money. So you need to make sure your Congress people are like, no, this tax plan is not going through. What up, Adam? How you doing, man? I need to call you. But you need to make sure this tax plan doesn't go through, because it's going to hurt you. All right. I didn't necessarily read everything she said, but I kind of like put everything that she said in there. But you can't get fooled by this. There are going to be massive administrative fees added to everything that's going to cost you money. And if that's what you're in this for, if it's more important to you that you pay more money but get a Democrat in office, go ahead. If it's more important for you to get rid of a Democrat and have a Republican office, go ahead. Do whatever you're going to do. But it should be more important to you to be able to have more money in your pocket to take care of yourself and your family. That should be your primary focus. All right? As I've said before, the president is not going to legislate morality. So if your thing of I'm voting for Biden, I'm voting for Trump because what he does for black people, what he does for white people, what he does for America, whatever those things are, okay, morality cannot be legislated. It can't. Neither one is going to stop police brutality towards minorities and black men in particular. Neither one can stop that. But what does stop that is you having more of a financial powerhouse in your community. When you own the land in your community, then you can dictate how you are policed and how your children are educated. But if you don't own the land, if you don't own the business, you can't. And let me tell you how this is going to hurt the small businesses that will go out of business. Because you will now be paying more, if this tax plan goes into place, you will now be paying more money to Walmart, because they're going to raise theirs by 12-15%. More money at whatever grocery store you go to. They're going to be spent. They're going to cost you. It's going to cost you more. Whatever clothes you buy, it's going to cost you more. If you are with a private utility company, it's going to cost you more. If you are wherever you buy from big box places, all those things are going to cost you more money. When you see that those are costing you 10, 15, 12% more money, your expenditures of going to the local mom and pop restaurant who are also increasing their price points by 12 and 15% because their suppliers have increased their price points by 12 and 15%, you are habitually you will go to the big box more often than you're going to go to the mom and pop. So if you're used to going to McDonald's, you're gonna keep going to McDonald's. You're not gonna go to the local place that sell burgers and stuff, your local burger and wing place. If you go to Olive Garden, you're gonna go to Olive Garden. You're not gonna go to the small Italian restaurant that you know the family there because you're gonna see their price increase as well. See, the small mom and pop, they got to increase theirs by the 12, 15% totally, right? Whereas the smaller, the larger companies, so let's compare. A small mom and pop Italian restaurant has to increase their price by 10, 15%, right? Whereas Olive Garden, because they're such a huge company and they can do more volume, they can increase theirs by like 7% and then do a slow increase over time because they have the finances to do this slowly. But the mom and pop don't. So you're going to see the larger increase at your local restaurant as you're going to see that as an affront to your finances. You're going to be pissed about that. But you're not going to be pissed about the big box place. One, because mentally you're used to going to the big box place. But then secondary, because they're going to increase their prices slowly so that you really don't feel it as much. But your small mom and pop, they live in day to day mostly, or week to week. They can't afford a 15% increase. And you're not going to pay it to them because you are paying more of an increase on everything else. So this tax plan will hurt you, period. I don't care about Republican, Democrat, race, and all that kind of stuff. At the end of the day, the money you put in your pocket is the most important thing first when it comes to all this political stuff because if you can have your person in office, your guy, basically your old white guy can be in office, but if you come home and you're looking at a hungry family, if you and y'all are fussing over the fact that things are more expensive now, you can't take those same vacations, you can't do those same things you've been doing, you're gonna be mad about that. You're gonna be pissed, and that's going to bring you discomfort. But what you can hold up and say, "Hey, we put this guy in office, so I don't care if that means I'm struggling more at home, that my business struggles more. I care about that before I care about putting somebody in office. You need to care about your personal finances before you care about who's in office and think about what's going to be best. Now, if you can stop Biden's plan and put Biden in office, go for it. If you believe you can do that, go for it. That means that who you put in Congress gonna have to be different than who you put in the White House. Quite frankly, because that's not gonna work. If he gets a Democratic Congress and a Democratic Senate, and he or enough votes in Senate, and Biden goes in office, this tax plan goes through. The recovery that we need to make next year, because I did a video on my real estate, live on my real estate channel yesterday, and on that I talked about the fact that 2021 will be the beginning of a dip in the housing market. So the housing market is going to dip next year. They're going to begin dipping next year, and from 2021 to about 2023, we're going to see a dip in the housing market. Just a correction from the whole COVID thing and people being laid and people being fired, being unemployed and people homes being on forbearance. The difference between this one and the last one is that people homes on forbearance and not in foreclosure. So the price of housing is high right now. Unlike back then, it was low, and there were more homes going into foreclosure, and this is forbearance. So it's different. It's different. So we'll see a dip, not a crash. So a little road bump, little bump in, little fender bender in the parking lot, but not a full on highway crash. It's not what we're going to see. But because of that, if you add a tax increase like Joe Biden wants to do, you're gonna see a lot of crashing at that point. Then by the time we get to about 2023, you'll see major market crashes because a tax program like this is going to be detrimental to the average American. The rich people they have the accountants to maneuver everything around and make money still and still keep the money that they're making. I mean, that's what being rich is about. Being rich is the difference between being rich and wealthy, I should say. These are wealthy people. They know how to keep their money. They got the accountants that's going to show them and make sure they know how to keep their money. And let me go ahead and tell you this part, and then I got to go. I'll tell you this part, then I got to go. This is what the rich do, and this is what you need to do. You need to understand this. This is what I do. All right. So I have Uncle Ren's Popcorn, but then they have Reed Enterprises LLC. Reed Enterprises LLC is a trust. It's a trust company. It's a company that sits in the trust, and put it that way. Reed Enterprises own Uncle Ren's Popcorn. It owns it 100%. I don't. So all the profit goes up to Reed Enterprises. I then pay myself dividends from Reed Enterprises. What that means is that I am taxed between 10 and 18% on the money that I'm paid. So anything over 300,000 is taxed at 18%, and then below that you trickle down to like 10%, or actually you can get down to 8%. That means that my taxes will never show this $400,000 as far as me personally, so I won't get that increase. This means since it's in a trust, that my company will not really see the 400,000, 500,000 won't see this increase. But because my suppliers are going to charge me more, I'm going to charge you more money. All right, it's quite simple. So it's about keeping your money. These companies are already set up with holding companies to hold all the profit to come into the holding company, and then pay themselves dividend checks out of the holding company, and minimally pay themselves payroll checks. Or they also have their holding companies buy their homes, and then they just live in the homes, and then once they retire, they sell the home to themselves for like $1, right? So they are set up to know how to keep their money even with the tax plan like this. But they will push that money, they will push the taxes down to you, because they're not going to take it out of themselves. All right. My uncle Edward says, if you vote, you should vote for your own livelihood. The treatment of equality is going to continue until you change it. Exactly. Equality is not going to change until you change it. And the only way, and economic power is how those things change. The police don't brutalize people in rich neighborhoods. Why? Economic power. Simple as that. Right? When you see black people being brutalized, you rarely see it. It happens every now and then, but you rarely see it in high income areas. Rarely. It is almost always in middle income to low income areas, because economics plays one of the biggest factors in whether or not your community is respected or not. They don't go into Jewish communities because they know they lawyered up. But if there's a poor Jewish community, they'll whoop their tail. Poor white communities, they will go into a trailer park white community and beat them. They will beat a white dude down. They will beat a Spanish dude down in a lower income area. Y'all think this is about race? Yes, but it's also primarily economics before the race. It goes economics then race, because you can still be rich and get treated that way, but it's less likely. It's less likely, right? So I gotta go. It's gonna be it for today. I appreciate you guys on YouTube. There's going to be a lot more lives. Most of them going to be in the mornings. And same thing with Facebook. We're going to talk about everything. We talk about spirituality, history, lessons, how to have a better life, relationships, everything. Keep joining us for Marriage Monday. I see a lot of you guys there. Why are you late? But you're going to have to watch this over. That's on YouTube. Please join my YouTube. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to do a video about Moses and Akhenaten real soon, so I want you guys to check that out on my YouTube channel. And if you notice on Facebook, I have not been putting most of my YouTube videos on Facebook. You got to go over to YouTube, all right, to get them. So y'all have a great day. Remember, you got to free yourself to be yourself, because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibration. And we are out of here.